I am back. Rodrance for Black and White Network. If you're new to the channel, punch subscribe, like, comment, share. Check out the video or audio now over on Spotify or the audio wherever you get your podcasting audio from. But Spotify now has our videos on it. Interesting. Another platform for Black and White Network, Black and White Sports, and the other two channels, Matrix and Roadshow, Black and White Sports 2. So, we're going to get to Chicago because, well, how about some more violence? More violence in Chicago should not surprise any of us. You go from Beetlejuice, a.k.a. Lori Lightfoot, a socialist Democrat, defund the police type, to another even more radical socialist Democrat. I mean, what are you people voting for up there exactly? I mean, it's like you're walking into a voting booth and it says on the card, burn your city to the ground. Oh, that sounds like a good idea. I mean, that's like exactly what you're voting for when you're walking in there. It makes no sense. I mean, it's like, okay, you got your brain in some kind of brain pan that sits on your head. You walk into the voting booth. Oh, let me take this off before I choose to vote. Because many people out there in Chicago are voting like a bunch of idiots. I'm surprised you can get dressed during the day. I would say I'm surprised you could get dressed and go to work, but we know a lot of Democrats don't go to work, so there's that. I'm going to get to this story. There is video to it as well, but before we get there, look, there is ways out of this. It can happen, and this mayor, I've got some issues with him on certain things. Francis Suarez, he's running for president now on the Republican side. He's got no hopes of even, making a chink in the armor of Donald Trump or Ron DeSantis or Tim Scott. But he's a guy that's getting his name out for future purposes. And he did this in Miami. I've talked about this before, but let's get a little more specific before we get into the Chicago story, because this is sort of a blueprint of how you can get rid of this. I mean, it's a tale of two cities. Look, guys, Miami was the cocaine capital of the United States at one time. But there is ways to fight crime, all right? It's a tale between two cities. This was back in April, all right? Two types of cities where elected officials believe the rule of law and public safety are the foundations of a free and prosperous society, versus other types of cities where elected officials fail to uphold the law, Chicago, refuse to enforce the law, Chicago, and blame those who follow the law, from police to small businesses, as the causes of crime, Chicago. And look, this applies to New York, Baltimore, St. Louis, Los Angeles, San Francisco. You know the Democratic drill, right? In Miami, we chose differently. We took a very different path from these cities. We increased funding for our police, growing our police department to its largest in our history. The result, crime dropped to one of the lowest levels in Miami's history. We deployed the most advanced technology we could afford to equip our police to protect our residents. Now listen to this, folks. Today, Miami enjoys the lowest per capita homicide rate since 1964. Because public safety is everyone's responsibility, we worked with community partners and law enforcement to ensure that crime is prosecuted. That's a key word there, prosecuted. Every victim is protected, and every case commands the best technology to convict criminals. I mean, my God, that just tells you right there. But it takes using our resources to target the very core criminal class. According to the New York Times, the same 327 individuals responsible for a third of New York City's crime reported shoplifting crimes. This underlies the need for more, not less, technology to enhance policing and to uphold accountability. In Miami, we've also invested in our online presence to address misinformation and forms of violence. Funding our police remains as critical in preventing the type of activity that drives violence or destruction of property. We'll get to destruction of property. We're about to see it. We can prevent a small yet active group of criminals from committing an array of crimes. A well-funded police force with advanced technology disrupts crime. Miami's record stands in stark contrast to the events of the past month in other American cities. Now, what they're talking about in this article is places like Chicago. Let's get to it. Hundreds of teens swarmed the streets of Chicago neighborhoods and vandalized cars while terrorizing businesses and residents. I mean, when will you guys just up there stand up and say enough is enough? We want our tax dollars to go to the police force and to DAs that will prosecute to the fullest extent of the law. And if the law doesn't cover it, you got the ability in your state to change the laws. It's called voting, and voting correctly. Chicago police, this is the Blaze. Chicago police scrambled to respond to hundreds of teenagers swarming the Lakeview neighborhood and terrorizing businesses and neighborhoods on Monday evening. Quote, they were jumping on cars, breaking glass, throwing things. I know my personal automobile was used as a bar for people. People were serving drinks off of a vehicle, somebody else's vehicle. A witness told WGN-TV. The woman told WGN that she called the police but got a distressing response. Quote, I was told there was nothing they could do. Let me read that again. Called the police. I was told there was nothing they could do. The concerned resident said, they were so overwhelmed at the moment there were just way too many calls coming in. Guys, that's Gotham City without Batman coming. That's not a good place to be. Batman's not real. The takeover started when the teens poured out of the Belmont Red Line stop on the Chicago L train about 10 p.m. Video from the incident showed many teenagers dancing on top of cars and drinking in the streets. Residents of the neighborhood said they discovered vandalism to their cars, including broken windows and large dents. One restaurant owner told WGM that they immediately closed their business after seeing the teenagers causing chaos. So it cost the business owner money. They watched over the business all night to prevent vandalism. You know, the scary part is if these teenagers tried to get in their business and they defended it, they probably would have been prosecuted for having done so. And I'm not talking about the teens. I'm talking about the business owners. Resident Grace Rowan told WGM that she was terrified and heard some gunshots overnight. Quote, it has been very chaotic. As somebody who's lived in Lakeview for honestly the past 3 years, it's very scary to see how things have changed over time. So places that weren't as bad they're becoming dumpster fires. Got it. A local official helped the cleanup effort on Tuesday issued a statement. Quote, I will be meeting with the 19th District Police, CTA, and others to discuss what took place and identify ways we can prevent it from occurring and moving forward. I just laid out how you take care of this, said 44th Ward Alderman Bennett Lawson, as well as continue conversations with my colleagues on the city council, probably worthless as tits on a boar hog up there, about how we can keep our youth from participating in disruptive actions. Despite hundreds of teenagers participating in the takeover, only 2 people were arrested. Only 2 people. I just hit my hand on something. Only 2 people were arrested. Wow. Okay. One of the 2 people arrested was a 15-year-old girl who was charged with obstructing traffic and aggravated assault of a first responder. Oh, my God. Look at that. All right. Let's see. Can I blow this up? Oh, no, I can't. All right. That's fine. Let's turn this down. There we go. Look at that. Look at that, folks. Come on. What are y'all doing just standing around? Look at this. This is absurd. Look at all these people. Wow. Oh, look at this damage. Look at that. Look at that. Oh. You voted this in, folks. That's look at this. Madness. I mean, absolutely just absurd. Look at look at this. She's twerking up on top of somebody's Oldsmobile Buick is getting vandalized. This guy's got a Jeep that they're standing. Oh, there they are. Oh, twerking it out on the Jeep Patriot Cherokee something. Oh, look. Oh, break it down. Yeah. All right. Great. Woo-wee. All right. Unbelievable. All right. Okay, so there you go. I mean, what? We are now making multiple videos a week about Chicago. New York. New York's joined the fray. Of course. Worried about some pizzas when crap like this is going on in New York. I mean, look, the Democratic priorities are completely messed up. It's a basic functional breakdown of leadership. It all starts from leadership and priorities for your neighborhoods. You've let radical ideology flow into your city, and now your city is Gotham City. Unbelievable. Tell me what you think, Black and White Network supporters. Another neighborhood twerking on top of your Oldsmobile Buick. Does that make you happy as a Chicago resident that paid for your Oldsmobile Buick? It wouldn't make me happy. It's your car. It's your business. Vote these people out. Christ. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.